But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
I am. Thank you. I don't know why it does that to me sometimes. It is the most bizarre thing. It gets stuck. I don't know. Thank you, Dandy. So welcome to the Think Tank. So we are going to take a look at the two women that were found deceased after allegedly going to meet grandma to pick up her two kids. She was in a custody battle, and grandma on the dad's side, the dad's mom, seems to be the one that had the let me see here, that had the custody for now. I'm not exactly sure what was going on behind the scenes, but I do know these two women did not deserve to pass. They allegedly found the vehicle about 3 miles from the meetup spot, and the car was found. They're saying that there was puddles of DNA around the vehicle, and somebody also said that there's a possibility that maybe a couple of the driver's side windows had been smashed out somehow, some way. So at first, we are going to take a look at a couple different articles that have come out, and then we'll go over the document. Let's see here. Dandy. Thank you ever so much. All righty. So court records reveal what led to arrests in the disappearance of two missing moms. Court records have detailed what happened to two Kansas mothers who vanished literally for a while there in rural Texas County. So there's Veronica Butler, who is the mom, and Jilian Kelley, who went with her. Now, I do believe it was her job to be there while the kids were visiting with Veronica. There was a few different people that could be used, and she was the one that was chosen for this particular day. So the car that they were riding in was found abandoned in the Oklahoma Panhandle. 4 people arrested on Saturday, this past Saturday, including Tiffany Adams, who is the grandmother of the two children. Court documents confirm that there was a problematic custody battle as the focus behind the M case. You have 2 people who are unalive and 4 people who committed an absolutely brutal crime, said Hunter McGee, a spokesperson for the OSBI. I'm very curious as to where they found these 2. For some reason, it's being kept away from media. And I've got my thoughts, but we'll see how this turns out, because it's very unusual for them not to say that they were found on this property or that property or out here or out there. So according to the affidavit that was filed on Monday, Butler was on her way to a supervised visit with her 2 children when she and Kelley went missing. Kelley was the court-appointed supervisor for the visitation. Family got concerned when the 2 did not return home and went looking for them. They found Butler's car on Highway 95 and Road L, south of Elkhart, Kansas. When the deputies arrived on scene, they found some things that just weren't adding up, said Matt Bowley, sheriff of Texas County. According to court records, deputies found DNA beside the car and Butler's glasses in the middle of the road, next to a broken hammer. A pistol magazine was found inside Kelley's purse at the scene, but no weapon was found. The discovery sparked an extensive search by law enforcement from across the Oklahoma and Texas panhandles and southwest Kansas. It took everybody in the case to get this done, said McKee. We know there were two people who were frustrated and wanted answers as soon as possible. We wanted answers as well. The investigation pointed to Adams, her boyfriend Tad Cullum, and Cole and Cora Twombly. All four were arrested Saturday and charged with 2 counts of first-degree M, napping, and conspiracy to commit first-degree M. Agencies surrounded the homes Saturday, and arrested all 4 without incident. The children were at the home and they were found safe. Law enforcement spent 2 weeks investigating, interviewing family, friends, and witnesses, and reviewing tips sent to the agencies. We're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 law enforcement officers. Truly no exaggeration, working day and night for about 15 days, said George Leach III, District 1 District Attorney. Court documents reveal the attack was planned. It also stated that all 4 were part of an anti-government religious group called God's Misfits. I have not looked that up. God's whatever. Misfits. Really? God's Misfits. Let's see. Members of self-proclaimed anti-government group called God's Misfits had held in the deleting of the 2 Kansas women.
You drive for a reason.
What a horrible, horrible situation.
You have 2 people who are dead, and 4 people that committed an absolutely brutal crime.
Amid an investigation into 2 missing Kansas mothers, 2 bodies were found in rural Oklahoma.
This case did not end the way we had hoped. It has certainly been a tragedy for everybody involved.
4 people.
With what we're learning was around that vehicle and in that vehicle, there's really no surprise. So these guys are all involved in a cult. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Just who you want to have as a guardian to children.
People are now facing murder and kidnapping charges in connection to the disappearances of 39-year-old Jilian Kelley and 27-year-old Veronica Butler. The 2 were driving through the Oklahoma Panhandle to pick up Butler's children for a birthday party in Kansas on March 30th. They never showed up, and their vehicle was found abandoned on a rural highway near the...
Makes me wonder if the father was also part of this little group here, God's Misfits.
Oklahoma-Kansas state line.
Based on the evidence and the information that we were able to obtain throughout the entire investigation, what was found inside of the vehicle, witnesses, family, friends of the victims that we were able to talk to throughout this entire process, we were able to gain the information to determine that that these 4 people were responsible for both of these women going missing.
Brutal. Absolutely
You drive for
brutal.
a reason. In the 4th.
Okay, so 2 Kansas women who vanished as they tried to pick up children for a birthday party 2 weeks ago were deleted over a custody dispute involving an anti-government Oklahomans calling themselves God's Misfits. Let's see if they tell us any more about God's Misfits. Investigators gathered evidence that the deletings were planned, with Adams buying prepaid burner cell phones to communicate and 5 stunners at a nearby store. So 5. They are talking about a possible fifth person. I'm not quite sure who that would be. Of course, my head goes to the dad, but I don't know that as fact. That's just kinda where my head goes. Her internet searches included asking about pain levels using weapons. The affidavit said a teenage witness told authorities that Cora Twombly said that at one point the plan was to throw an anvil through Butler's windshield while driving, making it look like an accident because anvils regularly fall off of work vehicles. Affidavits said that Butler and Adams were in a problematic custody battle. Adams' son is in, this is dad, rehabilitation facility hours away in Oklahoma City, and Butler was allowed only supervised visits each Saturday. And Kelley was the wife of a pastor in Hugoton. The Oklahoma Court of Civil Appeals has directed a trial judge in 2022 to give the children's parents shared custody. The ruling described them as very young and immature parents who accused each other of inappropriate behavior and choices, but said the children are nurtured and comforted by mother and happy and excited to be with father. Butler requested for more time with her children, and unsupervised visitation was likely to be granted in April, Butler's attorney had said to the investigators. March 23rd, with the court date looming, Adams bought the stun things on March 29th. Cullum used heavy equipment to dig a hole in a pasture he rented not far from the meetup site. Oh. Authorities wouldn't say at Monday's news conference where they were found, but the affidavit said some of the burner phones stopped transmitting that morning in the vicinity of the pasture, where a hole had been dug and filled back in and then covered with hay. It wasn't entirely clear whether where the children were during the search. Adams told investigators that she had left them in the care of another couple on March 29th and 30th, showing that she had no plans of taking these kids on the 30th to meet their mother. The affidavit said the couple regularly hosted the God's Misfits meetings. Authorities said that affidavits weren't unsealed until after the children's safety was assured. Four people charged are being held without bond in the Texas jail pending court appearances Wednesday, said Texas County Clerk Renee Alice. Court records don't indicate whether any of them have attorneys that are speaking on their behalves. I don't know a thing about her business, Elise Adams said when talking about Tiffany Adams. All I can tell you about is she is a wonderful stepdaughter to me. All righty then. So the Kansas moms who disappeared 2 weeks ago as police arrested 4 people for and napping after pools of dry DNA were found next to their empty car. The 2 have been recovered in connection with the disappearance and a pair of Kansas mothers who were last seen 2 weeks ago, while 4 people have been charged with napping and M. So let's see here. The 4 people had been arrested after a huge Oklahoma SWAT raid over the possible nappings and M's. Officials have found the two bodies in Oklahoma's Texas County in connection with their disappearance. What a shame. So at the time, they were being transported to the medical examiner's office to identify and determine the cause of their passing. A convoy of 20 police vehicles, including SWAT trucks, was spotted traveling swiftly along a dirt track in the Oklahoma Panhandle on Saturday. Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations announced their arrest shortly after, saying there was evidence to indicate foul play. So we have Tiffany Adams, 54, who is the grandmother, her boyfriend, Tad Cullum, 43. The other two who were arrested is Cole Twombly, 50, and Cora Twombly, 44. They had been together for 8 years, and it sounds like they are both friends with Adams on Facebook. Kelley, who is described more as an acquaintance and a friend of Butler's, is a pastor's wife who is said to supervise Butler's visitation with her children. March 20th, 10 days before they went missing, Butler filed a petition in court that would grant her more time with her children, with her goal being full custody. So there's grandmother and her hot boyfriend. And then this is the Cullums. I don't know if they're married. I think so. Both go by Twombly. 44 she is, and 50 he is. What a couple of idiots. What are you thinking? Court filings claim that Butler and the children's grandmother were not getting along amid the custody battle. Butler has weekly visitation, court mandated. Every Saturday she can have with her kids. And Kelley was one of 4 people that was listed as supervisors for those visits. I thought 3, but yeah, 4. They had made the 45-minute drive from Hugoton to a gas station in Eva, located near the Four Corners section of Oklahoma, but disappeared, with the car found just 3 miles away from where they were supposed to meet. Puddles of DNA found near the vehicle. So they were found 1,000 feet away from Oklahoma State Highway 95 near a school in Butler. Near a school that Butler attended and graduated from in 2015. My bad. I just like these guys rolling up to your front door. No thanks. So maybe they did find them in those holes that were pre-dug. Would make sense. Pastor and his wife, rest in peace. And they are sharing prayers. Okay, we've also got these documents came out a couple days back. Says the 12th, so that could very well be. For some reason, I thought it was a little later, but it could have been that it came out on that date as well. So this is the grandmothers, Tiffany Michelle Adams, born in 1969, gives her address, Keys, Oklahoma. Affidavit of probable cause for arrest warrant. The undersigned of lawful age being first duly sworn upon oath deposes the states as follows. I am Special Agent Jason Ott of the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. I have been a law enforcement officer in the state of Kansas and Oklahoma for approximately 27 years and served in the capacity of an investigator for over 20. I've read and prepared certain official investigative reports and statements of witnesses regarding the above named defendant. From these statements and reports, it appears as follows. How you guys doing over here? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. Let me tell you. Put that up for a second. Na. Tony, are you getting in trouble in there? Hello. Hey, JJ, good to see you. Hello, Dandy. Maxie. Good morning, Ruth. It's really good to see you guys. Any thoughts on what's going on here? Oh, did you? So, if it was a bunch of hippies, does that mean that they were probably not overly cranky? Yeah, they just found them over the weekend. Yeah, that's a good call. I'm not even going to highlight that, brat. Yeah, right? Nothing like a group of felonious friends. It's true. Yeah, it's only a secret if nobody knows the secret. I mean, as soon as there's two people involved, you're done. My thoughts are stupid people shouldn't breed. Oh, Lordy. All righty, let's see here. On Saturday, March 30th, 2024, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation investigative services with the suspicious disappearance of Veronica Butler, 27, and Jilian Kelley, 39, from rural Texas County after their vehicle was found abandoned near Highway 95 and Road L, south of Elkhart, Kansas. Butler and Kelley were traveling to Oklahoma from Hugoton, Kansas. Interviews were conducted related to the disappearance, and it was discovered that Butler was in a problematic custody battle with Tiffany Adams for the custody of Butler's two children. The father of those children was Wrangler Rickman Adams' son. Butler's visitation with her children was court-ordered to be supervised every Saturday. Adams had a particular person she preferred to supervise those visitations, and that was Cheryl Brune. The court ordered Adams to pay Brune to supervise the visits if that is who she wanted to be present. Otherwise, Butler was to choose and pay for the person to supervise. Adams and Brune were unavailable to supervise the visitation on March 30th, 2024. So Butler was required to arrange the supervision with one of her three approved individuals. Butler contacted Kelley of Hugoton, Kansas, and planned to have her supervise the visit. Just like that, the easiest thing turns out to be fatal. Butler told family members she was going to pick up her children from Adams at 1,000 hours. Eh? So what, are we talking like 10 a.m.? At Four Corners, that intersection is Highway 95 and US 64, west of location in Texas County, Oklahoma. Butler and Kelley left Hugoton, Kansas, and traveled Highway 95 to the Road L, about 5 miles from the Four Corners. Butler and Kelley arrived at the location at approximately 20 to 10. Butler planned to bring her daughter to a birthday party, but they did not arrive. The family began looking for Butler. Melissa and Joey Padilla who were Butler's family members, located Butler's abandoned vehicle just west of the intersection of Highway 95 and Road L. The Padillas then contacted law enforcement at 12:09 with examination of the vehicle and surrounding the vehicle. They found evidence of a severe injury. DNA was found on the road and edge of the roadway. Butler's glasses were also found in the roadway south of the vehicle near a broken hammer, and a pistol magazine was found inside Kelley's purse at the scene, but no pistol was found. Adams told OSBI that on Friday night, March 29th, 2024, Rickman and Butler's children stayed the night with Barrett and Lacey Cook. Adams had said she planned to pick them up in the morning before visitation. Adams said she called Butler at 9 a.m. to confirm the meeting, and Butler told Adams something came up and she was not going to make it. Butler's phone records confirm the call occurred. However, at the time of the call, Butler was in, Hugoton, Kansas, in the process of picking Kelley up to meet Adams. Adams stated she was at home at the time and that Butler and Kelley went missing. Adams picked up the children before noon from the Cook's residence. OSBI interviewed Brune, and she said she'd be available to supervise the visit that day, but Adams told her to take a couple weeks off from the visitation so Adams could question the children related to how Butler's approved visitations supervisors were. Butler and Kelley's phone records indicate their devices were actively sending signals to their carriers until approximately 9:42 a.m., after which the devices no longer seen by the networks and stopped transmitting. Neither phone was found at the scene or within the vehicle. They were currently missing at this time. Adams was the last known person to communicate with Butler and was scheduled to meet Butler and Kelley for visitation at 10 a.m. on March 30th, 2024. So they had a pretty good idea that something was up as it was. They get to the vehicle and there's all of this red DNA around. Her glasses are strewn. Wow. Yeah, they knew. Though the child custody case recordings were obtained where Rickman discussed death threats by Adams and Adams' boyfriend, Tad Cullum. The custody battle began in February of 2019 with many hearings and court appearances. On March 18th, 2024 and March 20th, 2024, motions were filed requesting extended visitation for Butler. A hearing was scheduled to occur on April 17th. So that's tomorrow. That's only tomorrow. Butler's attorney informed OSBI that Butler was likely to receive unsupervised visitation with her children at that hearing. At the time, Adams refused to let Rickman, even her son, she was fighting to have the children. Even though Rickman had, okay, it was him that had legal custody. Law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where Adams refused to give Rickman his children. Reportedly, the officer told Rickman he believed the children were better off in Adams' care. So what the hell? She's involved in some kind of funky ass cult, and that's okay? I mean, you don't want anyone who's addicted around children. That's a for sure. But this woman, this grandmother, la. Rickman's grandmother, Debbie Knox Davis, reported that in mid to late February of 2024, Rickman told her they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because Adams had it under control. Whoa, grandma. That Adams knew the path the judge walked to work. So what? She is now threatening a judge? Adams had it under control. That Adams knew the path the judge walked to work. We will take out Veronica at drop-off. Rickman was confirmed to be in a rehab facility in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, at the time of the disappearance, and the children were still with Adams. Rickman denied having that conversation with Knox. April 1st, 2024, OSBI agents obtained a search warrant for Adams' cellular phone. OSBI agents performed an extraction from the device. Information gained from the device included web searches for taser pain levels, shops, prepaid cell phones, and how to get someone out of their house. April 3rd, 2024, OSBI interviewed CW, age 16. CW is the daughter of Cora Trombley and Kobe White. Cora is married to Cole Trombley. CW stated she had overheard the group conversations related to Butler not protecting her children from her brother, all in reference to SA allegations. CW advised that she was told by Cora that Adams, Cullum, Cora, and Cole, and Paul Grice. Who is Paul Grice? That wasn't the name I was expecting. Paul Grice. Really? So they're saying that they were all involved in the passing of Butler and Kelley. She stated that Adams had provided burner phones to use so that they could communicate without using their personal devices. CW saw 2 burner phones charging on Cora's nightstand in her bedroom. So they had been planning this for quite some time. This wasn't something that just was a spur of the moment. It wasn't something that was in the heat of anger. This was well planned out. CW described Cora, Cole, Adams, Cullum, and Paul Grice as being part of an anti-government group that had a religious affiliation. Through OSBI investigation, it was learned that they called their group God's Misfits. Regular meetings were held weekly at Trombley's and at the home of Barrett and Lacey Cook. Wonder how many are in this little mess. CW was told on March 29th, 2024, that Cora and Cole would not be home in the morning when she woke up and were going to be on a mission. When CW awoke approximately 10 a.m., Cora and Cole were not home, but came home at around noon. CW knew that Cole and Cora took a blue and gray Chevy pickup owned by them and a blue flatbed pickup owned by Clint Twombly. When they left and returned in the same vehicles, CW was told to clean the interior of the Chevrolet pickup. CW asked Cora what happened and was told that things did not go as planned, but they would not have to worry about her. Butler again. CW was told that Cora and Cole blocked the road to stop Butler and Carrie and divert them to where Adams, Cullums, and Grice were. CW asked about Kelley and why she had to die and was told by Cora that she wasn't innocent either, as she had supported Butler. CW asked Cora if their bodies were put in a well, and Cora replied, something like that. CW also disclosed that other attempts to delete Butler occurred during the month of February 2024 near Hugoton, Kansas, in which Adams, Cullum, Cole, Cora, and Grice went to Hugoton, where Butler did not leave her residence. This is consistent with web searches discovered on Adams' phone about how to get someone out of their house. According to Cora, the plan was to throw an anvil through Butler's windshield while driving, making it look like an accident because anvils regularly fall off of vehicles. Well, in Carrick, Texas, interviewing CW and her brother, Cora and Cole arrived and tried to get access to CW and her brother. Cora was verbally aggressive and was very upset with your affiant that she was not granted access to CW and her brother. Cole exited the vehicle armed with in a holster on his belt. Really? OSBI investigation showed that Adam searched for those shops on her cellular phone. A search of local weapon shops showed Adam buying 5 stuns at the Big R store in Goyman, Oklahoma. The purchase was made on March 23rd, 2024. OSBI investigation showed that Adams purchased 3 prepaid cellular phones from Walmart in Guyman, Oklahoma, February 13th, 2024. The phones were identified by the phone numbers, and they give those out. Search warrants for information related to location services and phone usage were completed on each device. It was learned that all 3 phones were in the area where Butler's car was located and the last known location of Butler and Kelley. At the time of their disappearance, all 3 phones were powered on and accessed the cellular network for first time at or near Cullum's residence at different times prior to March 30th, 2024. On March 30th, 2024, the phone numbers, Butler's, so they're giving out the 2 of them, before Butler and Kelley's disappearance were at Trombley's residence. Prior to going to or near Cullum's residence, Butler and Kelley's disappearance at 10:05 and 10:16 hours. Phone numbers of both were in or at the area near Cullum's residence. After Butler and Kelley's disappearance on March 30th, between 10:16 and 10:35 in the morning, it was determined that the 2 phone numbers were at a property owned by Jamie Beasley below a dam in the pasture where fresh dirt work was located by your affiant. Concrete was moved, then a hole had been dug and filled back in and then covered with hay. The location where Butler and Kelley disappeared from and where Butler's vehicle was located is approximately 8.5 miles away from the location below the dam on Beasley's property, giving drive time to the location of where Butler's vehicle was located to Beasley's property well within the 34 minutes between the time of Butler and Kelley's phones stopping their transmission and prepaid phone numbers, and they give 2 more, arriving at the dam on Beasley's property. All prepaid phones stopped transmitting on the morning of March 30th, 2024, at locations near Trombley's residence and Beasley's property. Wherefore, affiant prays this court to issue a warrant for the arrest of the within named defendant, that he or she may be brought before the magistrate and held to answer for the defense of M in the first degree, M in the first degree. There's 2 for kidnapping and 1 for conspiracy. So there's that. I imagine we're going to start getting more information come out about, let's see, where do I want to go? About what happened here. And I would imagine it'll come within the next little while. I can't see it taking too long. People are going to want to know, right? Let's see here if there's anything new in this. God's Misfits at center of missing Kansas moms' deaths. So we'll look here and see if we can glean anything from it. A grandmother who served as a county Republican Party chair and allegedly belonged to God's Misfits, an anti-government religious group, is accused of purchasing the 5 stuns, 3 burner phones in the weeks leading up to her arrest in connection with the napping and passing of the 2 Kansas women. So she is Tiffany Michelle Adams, who is 54, of Keys. Adams, the mother of Butler's former romantic partner, believed that Butler's brother was abusing the couple's 8- and 6-year-old children. According to court documents, I haven't seen those. Butler was granted court-ordered visitation every Saturday. And we do know that Kelley ended up there because there was a little bit, there was a little bit of a confusion as to who was going where. All right. So the vehicle was found here. I think, okay, they were on 95 off of. So they did find the burner phones by the look of things. I wasn't too sure. Maybe they were with the women. Adams served as the chair for Cimarron County GOP state Republican leaders. Oh, nice. Looks like this is going to be same information. But this Tiffany Adams was the last known person to communicate with Butler. and all over child custody. Started in 2019. And it does sound like the father of these two kids was in rehab. Doesn't sound like he was out. Yeah, how sick is that? They get these tasers and then they Google how to cause the most pain. Taser pain level. All three phones were at the area where Butler's car was located. So they've got them all there. They've got them there. And it is sounding like Cora's daughter might be the one who pretty much put all of this together, her interview. And I'm glad that she didn't decide to lie for these people. I mean, a kid, you never know, right? The mother told her daughter of her involvement in the deaths. What a thing to tell your kid. What a thing to do. Investigators learned later that two burner phones left below the dam near a rural property in Texas County, where it was discovered that a hole had been dug and filled back in. We're leaving because we are going on a mission. And then they had the daughter clean up the inside of the vehicles. So that makes sense to me. I mean, it does sound like they basically cut off their entry to continue going and made them reroute. And that's where they were that's where they met up with the other two. Like, what a nightmare. And tell your kids? Absolutely senseless. Hey, good morning, Pam. Good to see you. Good to see you. So where are the kids now? I am not 1,000% sure where they're at this point. I don't know where the two young ones are, and I don't know where this Cora's kids are at this point. Right, that's kind of what I was thinking as I'm going through this stuff. Okay, so you're anti-establishment, but you're the head of a political party? Oh, thank you for that. You never know. I hope they rot. Yeah, that's all that they've said is that they're safe, but they're not giving us any idea as to where they are. And that's okay as long as they're good. As long as they're good, because they have a nightmare ahead of them. Unreal, guys. Wow. So I am probably going to go through some Richard Allen stuff later. I'm going to look at the document. I had started it the other day and ended up getting a bit busy, but I'm going to look at that. And if it's something I think we should talk about, I will definitely do another stream. The part that catches me when it comes to Richard Allen is they're now saying that he was eating his own crap. And if that's the case, I don't know what to say about that. That doesn't sound like somebody who's putting on a show, because there is absolutely no way I could gag that stuff down. Not a hope in hell. Not for any good reason. So, yeah, I'll take a look at that. And if there's anything we can be updated on, we will take a look. Other than that, guys, let's hope that all 4 of these guys, I think it's a DP state, right? I mean, they literally pulled those 2 gals over so they could delete them. That was their only reason for being there, is to delete them. And it didn't matter that they had, it is DP? Nice. Nice. All over custody, and if the mother was fine enough by what the government standards are, I'm sure she would be a lot better than some nutball who is in some kind of anti-establishment group. She looked like she had was living a fairly clean life, and sounds like the dad might have some issues as far as that stuff goes. So we'll keep our eye open and see what happens. I don't know if it'll go to trial or, I mean, they're done like dinner, in my personal opinion. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me. You know how much I appreciate you guys. And enjoy your Tuesday. I'll see you shortly in the next one. Bye.